Wondered how your favorite YouTuber makes so much bloody money. I'm gonna help you figure that out. It's I go back to there's a lot of poor information out there, and I've seen this $2,000 to $3,000 per million view thing pop up everywhere from Reddit to Twitter to forums. I don't know who came up with this number. I'm sure someone is making $2,000 per million views. People make probably less and a hell of a lot more. But this is one of those things like it's in the top of Google, and then someone searches on it, and it's the top result, so it must be right, and that's the number everyone seems to talk about. This is very similar to my father, who types in a couple symptoms into Google, and then he self-diagnoses, and he knows exactly what's wrong with him. But after spending 5 days in the hospital, come to find out none of what he Googled was right. You can't do that. I'm going to talk about some numbers over here to help you understand how these people are making so much money. You look at the DDE, how they got so many cars, and Whistlin Diesel. You look at Demo Ranch, that whole bucket of people that are really blowing up on YouTube. There's ways to make a lot of money. I'll show you how this might inspire you to do your own channel, start grinding away and doing something. But it's not like they hit the lottery and all of a sudden they're buying 10 Lambos. Oh, I'll show you where the money's coming from. But this information here, stop Googling stuff. Just for a frame of reference, 2.7 million views, 2.8, about a million views here, 2.5 million views. So we'll use 2.5 as, average for what he's doing over there. To help you understand this, CPM, we can talk about revenue per mile and CPM and what cut you get of the CPM. Let's just say for every 1,000 views, you get $2. You get 1,000 views, you make $2, right? I can get a cup of Speedway coffee, and hell, I can't even get a McDonald's fry anymore because a large fry at McDonald's is about $3.50. And if I want a shake to go with that, probably throw on another $5. You're gonna have to get 2,000 views to get a French fry. Not a lot of money at $2 per CPM for 1,000 views. Let's just say I get $5 for every 1,000 views. 100,000 views, I make $500. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. But you start thinking, okay, 100,000 views is hard to get. Absolutely. I've done videos that's gotten, 10,000 views or 100,000 views. I got videos that got 20 views. You never know what's going to hit. I do have something that I've figured out recently that I've not really seen anyone talk about, and how to get a much higher CPM. And it's a little trickier, but this is something I just found out through my own experience, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now, $15 CPM and a million views, one video is going to make you $15,000. Let's use $10 CPM at one of Whistlin Diesel's 2.5 million view videos. He makes $25 million. 25 million. Yeah, ridiculous. At $10 CPM at 2.5 million views, he's going to get $25,000. Now, obviously, if that's $15 or $20 CPM, this number goes up significantly higher. Now, imagine if he's at $20 CPM. He might get $50,000 for one video, not including the sponsors, if he has anything in the video, on top of the money they make off of, because I think Whistlin Diesel's working with Demo Ranch at Bunker Branding. They're selling a bunch of swag. He's selling like busted up squatted trucks and jars. This is just money from one video from YouTube revenue. Keep in mind, all the other money they're making, they've used YouTube to build a personal brand so they can sell their swag and grow other companies. And you've watched DDE kind of do the same thing, but they're definitely making money on the channel. For you, like that $2 CPM that people are saying, like you make, $2,000 per million views. I don't know about all that. I've not seen that unless you cuss a lot in your videos. If you're doing content of low value or stupid content, look, if you're just recording yourself playing a video game and you're cussing nonstop, you're not going to get someone like Porsche or Coke or these people who are going to spend big ad dollars to advertise on your channel. If you notice, a lot of people making money with the big CPM, it's on the auto channels. It's the people that are doing luxury goods, watches, anything about business, making money, stock market. Because if you're looking at higher value customers, people are willing to spend more money to put their ads in front of you. So if you're sitting there talking about stocks all day, it's likely that Lexus or Mercedes-Benz might want to run an ad for someone that's looking at private wealth management content. So the dumber the content you do, the lower the CPM. If you cuss a lot and it's not family friendly and all that stuff, lower CPM. This is why you'll notice things like DDE will always beep out cuss words. It's not that you can't put ads on it. You can get away with a few cuss words, but having no cuss words, on a channel that's about luxury goods, such as Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all this stuff, sounds like a channel that large advertisers with big ad spends are going to want to advertise on. Who would advertise on Whistlin Diesel's channel? I'm guessing, anyone that's selling diesel, Caterpillar, ag equipment, anyone that sells a diesel truck, Ford, GM, there's definitely money there. So let's just say that he's getting $10, which I think is probably light for his channel. And, every, he posts 2 of these a month, he might make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a month just from posted videos on YouTube, not including all the other ventures he has going on. So this is where people are making money. And I think a lot of times you see the forums that talk about that 2,000 per million, and you see someone that's got 100 million views, and you go, well, man, they didn't make that much money at $2,000 per million. Yeah, because it's not true. If you run a good channel, you're probably making, I got a video right now that I want to say revenue per mile is at $35, and my CPM's at $52. So think about that, $52 for every 1,000 plays, right? Or revenue per mile. So let's just say $35 per every 1,000 plays. Do that math really quick. If you do high quality stuff, if you're talking about business and luxury items and it's not cussing, this CPM number goes way up. I think a lot of times there's a lot of garbage content out there, maybe a lot of if you're doing a celebrity gossip channel podcast, who wants to advertise on that channel? Who is the average user base and viewer and subscriber of a channel that follows celebrity gossip? Who wants to advertise on that channel and spend a lot of money? Someone will advertise on it, but it's probably a company that's not a huge high margin brand that's got a bunch of money to put in front of you. Where does Rolex want to spend their money, for example? Probably not on a celebrity gossip channel. They might go to a channel talking about golf. They might go to a channel that's talking about Lamborghinis. They might go to a channel that's talking about luxury real estate, because if you're looking at, multi-million-dollar homes online, not that you couldn't be a window shopper, but, it's a high probability that customer base is worth spending $10 to $20 CPM on if you're a luxury watch manufacturer like Rolex. So, look, if you can get to the point to where you're pumping out enough videos where you can average 5,000 views a day, which I think is attainable if you do decent content, even at $10 CPM, which might be low if you do the right topics, 365 days a year, 5,000 views for 365, you make about 20 grand. And that's like, you wake up in the morning and you made $100 last night. You want to put more time into it. You want to, you look at the channels like Project Farm, which I just did an episode on, where they spend a tremendous amount of time reviewing products and testing them. You probably can get your viewership and your CPM way up, make a lot more money, but there's also the cost of production of the video and time. You could do more creative content. If you look at, obviously, Whistlin Diesel, what Demo Ranch has been doing all this time. What's the other one? Heavy D. They started on the Discovery Channel, if I recall, and then they branched out to YouTube. They're probably making way more money on YouTube than they were on the damn Discovery Channel. You kind of seen the same thing with Street Outlaws. Big Chief and Murder Nova. They break off and they're doing, their own separate. Whatever. It's a long story. They kind of split ways a long time ago, but now they got their own channels with 100+ subscribers. They're definitely augmenting their income with YouTube and building their brand and their swag and all that stuff. There's money here, and I don't think you look back and say all these big YouTube stars. Some of these people have, 10 million+ subscribers. They got huge view counts, and They're out there buying all these like homes and luxury goods, and you can't figure out how. It's because they're not getting, like this thing says over here, they're not getting 2,000 per million views. They're getting a hell of a lot more than that. They're getting $15,000 per million views, and that adds up. There's a channel I watch called Mav, and he like boondocks it in his car and travels around. But he bought a house, and now he's buying some more toys, and I think some people are sitting back. It's like, well, how are you doing that? Well, he's got a lot of views. He doesn't cuss. He's got interesting content. And he's selling his own swag, using his personal brand to build another business. Dude's making money. Now, the trick that I saw, not even a trick, I just stumbled upon this. To get this higher CPM potentially, I've had a video that's made quite a bit of money, but my traffic's not coming from within YouTube. It's, if you understand SEO, which we do a boatload of SEO over at Daggerfin for corporations and content, SEO applies to YouTube. I think most of the time people are very focused on doing SEO for YouTube within YouTube as the ecosystem, where I'm in YouTube and I'm searching for something within YouTube and you're trying to play the SEO game. One of my pieces of content that has done very well recently ranks number 1 in Google. So if you searched on it within Google, not YouTube, just a search engine, I'm the first result. So almost all my traffic for that video is coming from the search engine. The CPM for that video is significantly higher than most of my other videos. So there seems to be some value depending on where the traffic's coming from. It's somehow YouTube is valuing traffic that is coming from outside of YouTube more than the traffic that's coming from within YouTube. So maybe if someone's coming off a website, potentially you could get higher CPM. Coming from a search engine, potentially higher CPM. Maybe linking off a social media platform. I can't verify that one. But we operate in YouTube hoping the algorithm promotes us, that we're featured in, Up Next, or, we just, if our autoplay's on, which I stumbled across a lot of stuff on autoplay, we hope that that's how our channel grows. You can grow channels by using organic search results. So when someone's looking for an answer in Google, your video pops up within organic search results. So just something I noticed. If you're trying to get that CPM up, if you're doing how-to videos or you're trying to talk about a trending topic, keep in mind the SEO and people's natural language and how they would search for something within Google too, not just YouTube. So anyways, a little mini hack there that I just stumbled upon. But yeah, keep in mind, if Whistlin Diesel, for example, or these people, whoever, are getting $20 CPM, this is 10. They're getting $50,000 for one video. Some of these people do multiple videos a week, 2, 3, 4 a month. They could be making, who knows, 100,000 plus a month just from their videos, on top of swag, their own brands, sponsors. There's so much stuff going on here. But again, I think a lot of people thought the money wasn't in YouTube because there's a lot of information spreading around that you only get $2,000 per million views. It's like, if it's junk content where sponsors don't want to go and you cuss a lot, yeah, it's highly probable. Same way, if you know anything about the music industry, like they talk about 6,000, you're going to get $6,000 for every million plays on Spotify, they say, or something like that. So do you think that you're going to get 3 times as much on Spotify than you would on YouTube? Think about that for a minute. That $2,000 number is very low. You just got to make sure you're picking the right topics. You got to pick topics that are valued to corporations that want to spend big money. Knock off the cussing, adult content, violent content, all that stuff. I want to say Demo Ranch has been demonetized for a long time. I'm not 100% sure. I don't follow exactly everything. But, they got a brand built up, and then I think they're making money on Off the Ranch, which is another channel that probably, I'm guessing, is not demonetized. I don't know. So Anyways, just some thoughts on not every YouTuber that you see that is buying all this stuff is a lottery winner. Their channel is the lottery, and you can make money doing it if you can do decent content and keep grinding away, because a lot of times it takes years to build a channel and to build a following. But I think average Joe, if you have something decent to say or talk about, you could get a channel to a point where it's $10 CPM, 5,000 views a day across all your videos, 365. You make an extra 20,000. Now there's other ways to make 20,000. Maybe you just take all that extra time and double down on your day job and get better at it and get some raises, and you can make 20 grand that way too. But if you're looking at generating some income off of YouTube or social media or whatnot, this is kind of how it shapes out. There's more money in it than people are talking about. You see a lot of these stock people, in my own opinion, that make it seem like they've gotten wealthy through trading. They got wealthy off their YouTube channels, is how I see it. And then they kind of portray it as that they're these awesome like financial gurus, and that's why they got the Ferrari in a house now. It's like, no, you were talking about stocks and you built a channel up and you started making more money, and now you bought the Ferrari, and now you're trying to use that as a tool to say, hey, you should follow me. I think a lot of that happens. You just got to pay attention. There's some legit people out there and some not legit people. But, I've seen channels where they were all about one topic, and their channel, had 50,000 subscribers. And then they decided to add like a Ferrari and a Lamborghini to their channel, and now they're at 150,000. And they had this crazy growth because all of a sudden people get more interested when they start seeing luxury items like homes and planes and cars and watches. And all of a sudden it makes you more credible for some reason. A lot of stuff going on out there. I just say don't be fooled by these people that make it seem like I do this as a day job and that's why I'm loaded. No, look at these numbers. You're making a boatload of money on YouTube. So yeah, when you see Whistlin Diesel destroying all that stuff, where did the money come from? My guess is he's just a guess, making a bunch of money on YouTube. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. I'll catch you on the next one.